Hi, you guys. How are you?
Can you believe we made it to today's
Oh,
show?
I can't hardly believe it based on technical difficulties and ridiculosity, which I'm not even
Uh,
sure is a word, but it makes me feel good to make something up.
let's not mention that in our neck of the woods, we're just all happy to have electricity at our places right now.
Yeah, I don't want to rub it in because I know that there's thousands upon thousands of people that are still without. We had a storm system come through where we are in Montreal and in outlying areas into Ontario. Scary situations. Our friend Kelly can speak almost too well about that. So, Kel, we're happy to see you.
Thank you, because I wasn't sure I was gonna still be around. It
That's
was
scary.
very crazy. I've never like we've had some pretty bad storms out here, but this was the first time like I was legit concerned that maybe Saturday was my last day on the planet. So
Wow.
yeah, because we like I think a lot of us, you must have had it too. Like our phones started blowing up with like tornado alerts.
Yep.
And then I went outside to check and like I knew we were in trouble. And so my better half was not around at the time. And so I took myself and the two dogs into the basement underneath like a metal structure and was really hoping for the best because all of a sudden, like when you hear the wind howling in the basement, you know that it's got to
Yeah.
be a significant amount if you're hearing that in the
Jeez.
basement.
Wow.
And then my garage flipped over and completely destroyed up against the neighbor's trees.
Whoa.
And so I'm just glad nobody was hurt and I wasn't either. And the dogs are fine, except they were cranky without electricity because we didn't have any for 48 hours. So,
Just
and
the
that's
dogs
like
were cranky.
that's like a long time in modern day to not have electricity, like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us in like first world problems. You know what I mean?
First world problems for sure. And we have access to being able to freeze our food and stuff like that. And that's when it starts to be a bit of a concern where did you lose anything food
Oh yeah.
wise?
Oh yeah. The fridge and the our big freezer that we have in another garage, that was okay. But our fridge and freezer in the house lost it all.
Wow.
And what we were seeing on the news here was that people were going to get their cans filled with gas and just sort of have backup for generators, things like that. But there was long lineups, and then gas stations were running out of fuel, running out of ice, running out of stuff because they too didn't have any power. So scary times.
Mhm.
But hey, we're all here.
We're all here now, thankfully. And we got a lot to tackle today, actually, because we're going to get set to see the new edition of one of our fave bad boys of pop and R&B fame, who seems to have gotten through the storm. So we'll talk about that. Another story of resilience with a potentially confusing meditation album. We'll talk about Alanis Morissette and her plans for the future. And I'll tell you why I think it's confusing. Kelly's trivia and a 90s rewind that'll take us right back that away to the 90s. And we've got an update, actually, like this just in kind of an update from the Aerosmith camp. So we should probably start there. Now, Adam just sent us a message while I was struggling to get into our session for the show for 90s Now Tonight, saying that in short, Steven Tyler has had a relapse with some medications, right, Adam?
I think it's a pain management pills.
Right.
At least that's where the issue started. I don't know what happened after, but it's with pain medicine he was taking for an injury he suffered.
Which is it's risky. Anybody with
Yeah.
addiction issues knows that you can't just take pain meds, because they're highly I was going to say contagious, which is not the right
Addictive
word.
is the
Addictive
word
is
you're
the
looking for.
word.
Yeah.
But part of their post to their fans was that, as many of you know, our beloved brother Steven has worked on his sobriety for many years. After foot surgery to prepare for the stage and the necessity of pain management during the process, he has recently relapsed and voluntarily entered a treatment program to concentrate on his health and recovery. So they're sorry to inform that things have been changed as far as concert dates and stuff like that, but they will continue for the 2022 dates starting in September. And so obviously paying attention to their social media feeds to stay in the loop with regard to progress. And, it's the balance of wanting the information and wanting to cheer on Steven Tyler, and yet at the same time respecting his privacy. So
Yeah.
I'm really proud how quickly they told the fans, and and him, like, not that he needed to. I mean, obviously there was commitments with the show, so like he did need to kind of come clean on some level of it, although he didn't have to. He could have said he broke his leg, and they just would have had to wait. But I think he's probably helped a lot of people by just being honest.
Yep, I agree with you 100%.
Especially because, like, Sharon, he's been sober for like a long time, correct?
He has, and I know there's been a couple of bumps in his road, and that's life. I think it's the bumps don't define you, just how you deal with them is what defines you. So he's a great picture of he's a great success story, and like you say, he's an encouragement to fans that are going through similar circumstances. And he's in his 70s, right?
Yeah, he must be, right?
And proving that he's human above anything else.
Hey, it's
He's really
just another
cool.
bump. Just
Exactly.
another bump.
Yep. Exactly that.
He's also cool.
He's super cool. And the idea that he would have to have foot surgery is a lot of how I don't remember the name of the condition of what he has, but it's basically, because of what he does, because of how active he is, because of how he's so agile, and probably for many years not wearing proper footwear, which
It's
sounds
called,
ridiculous.
That was
Sorry?
Prince's issue, right? That was Prince's issue.
Yeah, gosh. Well, Prince wore like a nice heeled boot. Always looked good. Made his little behind look good too. That's the benefit from wearing, heels like that. But they're not good for you,
Yeah. Well, because I think that in a roundabout way led to Prince not being here with us anymore.
Right. Pain meds and
Yeah.
man, it's self-medicating, that kind of thing. Adam, what are you saying about
I was saying I'm just Googling the Stevens condition. It's called Morton's neuroma.
Right. So again, he started wearing proper footwear later on, and it sounds like such a senior problem, but I think any athlete of any age, and it's, I think, being a rock and roll singer, the front man to his level of ability, you have to wear, the proper stuff to protect yourself and be the best athlete that you can be. So he's on it, but he had to have surgery, likely because of many years of not being on proper footwear. Sounds so un-rock and roll, but it is what it is. Now, I think that we should probably get to some trivia before we get into, one of our favorite bad boys.
Let's do it.
Okay.
90s now trivia.
Bing bong us.
Bing bong to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna start off with a news and politics question. So
Oh,
this would be
thank
like,
goodness.
this is right up your alley, especially because Adam went to school about the 90s. Remember?
I started school just on the other side of the 90s.
He knows all of it. Whose autobiography, published in 1994, was titled "Long Walk to Freedom"?
Adam. Nelson Mandela.
Adam.
That was
Well
a good
done.
guess. I cannot say I've read it. I cannot say I've read the biography, but that's just seemed like a nice guess. And I think he was released from jail in 1994. Am I correct?
I think it was earlier than 94.
Really?
Gosh, I should know that.
We should all know that.
Yeah, we should all know that.
I did at the time.
Was it not 91?
Oh, it was in February 11th, 1990.
There we go.
President in 94?
Nice.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
May
makes
10th, 1994, he became president of South Africa.
Imagine that.
It's crazy.
God bless him.
And Adam, when did it hasn't been that long since he passed, right? I don't think.
It's funny enough, I was at quiz night the other day and we had to identify stuff that happened since 2000, and then Nelson Mandela's death was one of the questions, and I remember we got it quite wrong.
Okay.
Not just wrong, but quite wrong.
Some of us argued it happened close to 2000. Some other people said it happened way later, and the correct answer is 2013.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like
Wow.
after 2010. So okay. So it's long enough. It's almost 10 years.
Yep.
But isn't that crazy that it's almost 10 years that he passed away? Like, it's bananas.
But to think of the amount of work that he got done even while being imprisoned, and then the impact that he would have had for all of those years out of prison, and then as president. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
He has touched so many different people, and like you said, impact is a great word. I think that's the word when you think of Nelson Mandela, right? So
Yeah.
Now
And
I want to
Adam-
read his biography. That's all I want to do now.
well, now, and Adam, I kind of had that attaboy thing again. Like, good job, Adam.
Attaboy.
It's
I
funny
don't know if
because
that's
when
a
I read the
compliment or anything, but I'll take it.
it's funny because when I read the question, like I knew I should know it, and I knew, but for some reason I'm like, was that Barack Obama? Like, no, too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back into sports on this one. In which year was Shaquille O'Neal the first overall pick in the NBA draft? Sharon, you should know this.
Sharon?
Go, Sharon.
Sharon, she said with zero confidence, 1992.
Yes.
Oh, I should have said Adam. That was going to be my guess. Oh.
Boom.
Orlando Magic, 1992.
I remember seeing him often not making free throws.
Yeah,
And I
that pretty
thought,
much continued for the length of his career. Yeah.
Was that a
Yeah.
thing?
Oh my God, he
Yeah.
couldn't. Remember that time too for a while, Sharon, because he was so like such a huge human, right? Like just
Mhm.
he for a while he would take the ball and just launch it like this. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
But it was one of those things that you're like, you're a professional athlete, like you're a large man. Granted, that certainly got you in the door. Do you know, but you still have to know how to sink a free throw, no?
It was not his thing, Sharon. Not his thing.
I've got a piece of trivia for you.
Okay,
I'll take
let's
it.
do
What was Shaquille O'Neal's average in terms of percentage? How many free throws would he get?
27.
In his whole career, you're going for 27%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 15.
Okay, it's not that bad. It's 52.7.
Oh,
That's bad.
that's way better than I thought.
It's still bad.
It's still bad. Yeah, but much more than I was giving him credit. I was super mad at him, like
Yeah.
15, that's it. So are we oh no, I got one. Adam got one.
Yep.
I should have got two. I should have said Adam faster.
I'm faster.
And just for reference, the average free throw of the NBA for the past 5 years has
Can I
been
guess? Can I guess?
Yeah,
72%.
74, 75 would be.
Oh, close. Okay.
Like of everybody, that's like all together.
Yeah, I think that's all teams combined.
Wow. It's lower than
So he
I would
was
hope.
way below average.
Way below.
Way below. Well, you know what, you guys, for the past couple of decades, I think Bobby Brown has made headlines for all the wrong reasons. And certainly we've talked about some of those reasons on 90s Now. And we all watched him and Whitney Houston basically implode and make a lot of bad choices. That's for sure. But now after a tour and we're just within the time now where the documentary is set to air. Bobby Brown is the calmest and most centered that we have ever seen him, I think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I would
When we
agree.
think back,
I would say the last several years, actually. Like she seems like his wife has a very strong influence on his behavior.
yeah, and not in a weird way, because you see interviews in situations like that where people have changed and they marry someone that's a little more controlling. It doesn't even seem like she's controlling at all. She's
Yeah.
just super cool, and she seems real with him and
Yeah.
and him with her, which is great.
Yeah.
If we think back even just 10 years ago, 2012 was a huge year.
Mhm.
Whitney Houston dying in February. He had a birthday less than a week later. And then he and his now wife, Alicia, married in June of that year. And of course, that's, that sounds good. You throw some addiction issues and of course, the death of his daughter and his son. He's been through the ringer,
Mhm.
but he's coming out the other side. I think the cathartic process of putting together a documentary of your life probably helps. And then, of course, touring with New Edition, his old pals. Well, my favorite line of the interview that we saw was him saying, yeah, we should have had that tour sponsored by Ben Gay because we were all broken. you get to a certain age where no matter what, like just life sort of, gives you a few extra pounds or, a sore this or a sore that. And the stuff that you could do without even thinking 30 years ago is like, "Ugh, my back." So that's where he's at. It'll be cool to see that documentary, actually.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. I'm sure there's a whole section there about his love for Janet Jackson.
Love is an appreciation, or he loved her.
Both. I think he claimed because I listened to his audiobook right from a few years ago, and he
Right.
claimed that they had a thing.
Wow.
That's a THANG.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She didn't, I don't believe because you watched the documentary, I don't believe she addressed Bobby Brown stuff, right? In her documentary. I'm blanking right now, but I don't think so.
I don't recall that at all. So
Yeah.
put it on the list. There was a few things she didn't address, but I think, she addressed quite a bit.
Yeah.
And to think that there's still stuff, still stones left unturned.
I'm still like incredulous about the Coca-Cola thing.
What about it again?
The
Remind
spot.
me?
So remember, like she was supposed to right around the time that the allegations came in, like mid like early of the 90s, like mid
Mhm.
early 90s. She was supposed to sign that Coca-Cola deal because Pepsi had him
Right.
and they were going to get her, and that was going to be their big coup. And then when he got all this bad press, they yanked it from her too.
You're talking about her brother.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's
But that's crazy, right? Like because I was having this discussion recently with someone where it's like there's been enough incidents involving Michael where and like it's usually Michael that would affect her, where like it's affected her. Like
Yeah.
she lost the Coca-Cola thing. She pushed back the tour because there was bad press and they didn't know, what was the best course of action. So they waited a bit. Like that's all stuff that it's not her, but because
Right.
her last name's a Jackson.
But she took the hit
She took the hit, like,
and was asked to take the hit,
right.
which is sort of crappy too.
Mm.
But she did it. And it's not, good for her for doing it, but ultimately there was some not good for her for having done it. So it's too bad. And probably wasn't reciprocated either.
Yeah,
He was the
think,
priority, right?
pardon?
He would have been the priority.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the big brother, right? So
Yeah.
love you, Janet.
Go get him, Janet. Incidentally, I did watch the Billboard Awards, the presentation to Mary J that she did.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where Adam may have thought what he thought about Mary J and the sniffles.
What do you think?
Well, to be honest, at first I'm like, oh, she's just upset. And then I'm like, she's really sniffly
For the whole thing.
for the whole thing. So I don't know. I'm not in a position
I'm going
to
with
know.
it was a cold arena.
That could very well be. She never touched her nose or anything. I think that would have been
You're
I think if it was a drug thing, she would have been a lot more fidgety.
Yeah, I think she's worked so hard.
Yeah. But I can
And,
see where
like,
Adam was coming from, though.
Yeah, for 1,000,000%. But like also recently, like, because her doc came out not that long ago either, right? And so, and she's already like got rid of the ex, like that, that divorce has gone through from what I understand. So like, I feel like she's probably in one of the best places of her life.
She seemed uber confident, which is nice. You gotta
She's
celebrate
MJB.
that.
She's MJB.
You're damn right she is. And Janet Jackson looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Did
Like,
we
she
have
ju-
a discussion where that outfit that she wore got Googled like more than anybody else's that night?
Really, eh?
Yeah, like
Oh,
people were
I
on
can
the
see
hunt for
why.
that because there was like a fashion, like a fashion article or whatever that came out about the most like viewed and Googled and searched fashions from that night, and Janet beat out everybody.
Oh, cool. Well, warranted. She looked fantastic.
Mm.
She's just so cool too,
Yes.
So coming out of Bobby Brown's documentary, which, like I said, should be airing now-ish, right? Should be
believe
available
so.
to us now-ish.
Adam, could you quickly Google that for us?
I will.
And
Adam's
we can
like
talk.
Adam's a Googling machine.
He's the man. We have another documentary to talk about too. Should we wait for Adam's answer?
Let's get a few seconds.
All right.
I can
Adam
start.
is quick sticks with the keyboard.
Monday, May 30th.
Nice.
Okay, so
Release date.
within the next week of this recording.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, the next documentary that we can look forward to is Elton John.
Sorry, just before we go to Elton.
Oh yeah.
It's a 2-part documentary. So May 30th and 31st.
Sweet.
And
Wow.
Adam, I don't know, is it on something that we can watch in Canada? Because I'm not sure.
I thought it was
Showtime?
A&E.
A&E.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, so same as Janet. So great. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Right on. So Elton John, a giant of in the artistic community, and certainly a guy that transcends any confines of any particular decade. He's been doing this for 6 decades now, or within 6 decades. And Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, the final Elton John performances and the years that made his legend, will feature never before seen archival footage and new interviews. It's perfect timing. You come off a pandemic where you have nothing to do but interviews. You're going to get some really great interviews. So we can look forward to that. He's still rocking the tour, which will end in November in Los Angeles. It's incredible that he's committed to sticking to as many dates as possible. Having witnessed Elton John live a number of times, it's so worth it. And this last farewell tour was just like a great big thank you from him to the fans and to the music. It was just so nice to be able to witness it. And I think that they'll be able to touch on a lot of that in this documentary. So date wise, I don't recall seeing a date, but I'm tired. So maybe there is a date when it's coming to Disney Plus. I do know that it's Disney Plus. When? I guess we'll never know. Unless I look to find out the date. But I know it's not this week. So maybe I can find out, be clearer next time on 90s now.
Didn't we have homework for Adam too for music stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And I did not do it. What
Oh,
was
it was
What was
Arrested
the homework?
Development.
Because
Wasn't
I'm
it?
also tired.
Wasn't it Arrested Development?
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
now got a relationship.
Was that what it was?
With someone for over 10 years.
You guys hear
which is
what's playing
very
here?
furnished.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be playing stuff in our show though.
I know. It's okay.
Mhm.
It's all right. It's gone.
It's gone. I didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're
Okay,
talking about. So I have just a headline about the next little bit of information. So I'm hoping you can fill in the gaps for me.
Mhm.
And that is that Alanis Morissette will be making a new album.
Is she?
But it's a meditation album.
How does that work?
How exactly? And here's why I think it could be potentially confusing is that in her delivery of, you know, she has her own sort of unique style of, you know, ramming as many syllables in where you would only find one.
Yeah.
It's completely unique and it's so Alanis, but I think imagine if she applies that to meditation. Are you able to fill in the gaps for me? Please let me know.
I know it's happening June 17th, right? I think I saw that.
I know nothing.
Okay.
There's one track that's been released. It's called Safety, Empath in Paradise.
Oh,
Many
11
words.
minutes
Many
long.
words.
11 minutes long. So lots of words, lots of minutes.
It's like a Taylor Swift remix.
Yeah, what's it called? All Too Well. That's what the Taylor Swift song is called.
wow.
That's all I know.
Well,
I know
think
that she
I think
said
that's
that
enough.
obviously like meditations helped her a bunch, you know, throughout her life, especially because she's had like, you know, crazy postpartum stuff, right?
Mhm.
And then anxiety and all that. So I'm assuming that's all part of like has influenced, you know, why she got into meditation in the first place and all that stuff. So I think
Makes
it'll be
sense.
interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I think anything that she tackles from an artistic standpoint is worth experiencing. So
And I
It'll be
sent you
cool.
guys like I feel like we talked about this maybe 4 or 5 episodes ago when they did the like orchestral version of You Ought to Know. Remember when I sent that?
Yep.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever heard and seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Excuse me.
You Ought to Know with like an orchestra, bananas.
Yep.
But the real question is, when will we be treated to the meditation tour by Alanis?
Yeah.
Everybody
Imagine
bring your
going
yoga
on tour.
mats.
Who would you get to open up on that one? Because you need to have somebody keep you awake till Atlantis kicks in, but you can't have anybody too energetic.
Blink 182.
Yeah. You know what a
Imagine.
cool tour would be? Alanis and Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Do they really reach and talk to the same crowd though?
Music lovers.
It just would be cool. Like two, ridiculous Canadian females, like talented beyond
Yeah.
words.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, you know what? Alanis was doing her thing on the charts around this time in 1996. So you know what? She's a part of our 90s rewind.
We love it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ironic. Nothing about the song was ironic, by the way. But ironic in and of itself was another great big reason why Jagged Little Pill was such an amazing album from Alanis Morissette. So we were still digging that in 1996. Another Canadian made her way onto the top 40 in North America. Jan Arden, who was on tour, just did a show in Montreal last week.
Did you
And
go?
I did not go.
Okay.
We were offered to go and we had something else that night, so we didn't go. And Jan Arden is a great performer. She obviously can write a song and sing it. She's a beautiful voice. She is funny. Oh my gosh. And so you get treated to this great sense of humor and beautiful music at the same time. So that's Jan
Nice.
Arden. And Insensitive was a song that we were hearing around this time in 96. Whitney Houston, we've spoken about her a little bit on the show, but we paired her with CeCe Winans and Count on Me. Wasn't that on the Waiting to Exhale album?
I want to say yes.
Then you should say yes.
Saying it with confidence, but uncertain. So
Yes, ma'am.
Adam is going to check for us.
Hey, Googly. Beautiful song though. And that album was amazing. That movie was awesome too. And Count on Me, just a wonderful song, and a nice segue into something new from Coolio, who was also counting.
It was on Waiting to
Was, eh?
Exhale.
Nice.
I
Congrats.
felt I was moving on confidently. So to go from Count on Me into 1, 2, 3, 4, something new from Coolio was also pretty cool. And because it's always good, it makes us feel good to think and talk about George Michael. Fast Love was getting us moving back around this time in 1996.
That was such a great
Oh,
song.
honestly, I was talking to somebody the other day about seeing George Michael on that tour that came. It was
Oh,
the
wait,
last time.
2008.
Yeah.
Yep.
And honestly, one of the best shows I've ever seen. We didn't stop moving the whole night.
Except when he took that 20-minute break in the middle.
Well, then we could towel off a bit because honestly,
Yeah.
God,
But that was my first, I don't know if that's a British thing, because that was my first concert where like that was like a pop concert where there was like a stop time, for like, and then they actually, do you remember, Sharon, like up on the big screen, it actually counted down from 20 minutes?
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I was just reading today. I was doing a quiz about the year 1977, and that
Ooh,
includes
fun.
Pink Floyd's show at the Olympic Stadium here in Montreal.
Nice.
I was reading about the show, and it said at one point they actually took a 30-minute break. And I was like, this is the first time I've ever heard about a band or a group or an artist taking an actual, like a 2-part show and have a 30-minute break in the middle. It seems
Yeah.
climactic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's the word, but I'm not a fan.
It's
Not a
so
fan.
you could, especially at the Olympic Stadium. Yeah, we're gonna take a 30-minute break so you can go to the washroom. What?
Or grab 2-3 more beers
Or exactly. That's probably what people
and
did.
then miss the show coming back because you're still in line for that beer.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I saw George Michael actually at this Olympic Stadium in 1987.
Yeah, that makes sense. My sister was at that show.
It was awesome.
Where?
He
What's he-
ran. He was going side to side from each side of the stage, and the capacity at the Big O is like 55,000. And they were loving him. It was amazing.
And do you remember that? Because I remember my sister telling me that when she got home, he came in from the audience. Does that make sense? She remembered like where she
Possible,
was
yeah.
sitting, like all of a sudden, like the spotlight came on or something, and it's like this figure went flying down, and she's like, that was him. Like he came in from the audience, like
Wow.
some, wherever she was not too far from his entrance. So
It was a cool experience to be at a show that large, and yet at the same time, there's nothing good about seeing a show at the Olympic Stadium. The sound is horrible. I think it's just the vibe and the fact that you get to be there. But
mm,
Did I tell you I'm going to a big stadium show this summer?
which one?
fun.
I'm going to New Jersey to see Lady Gaga with a friend of mine. My friend is probably one of the biggest fans of Lady Gaga. So he actually bought tickets like in the pit,
Whoa.
like early admission. We're gonna be like we're gonna be on the gate, and I've never experienced that for a show. So I think it's at the City Field.
Yep.
I think there's like an 80,000 people capacity. I think
Isn't that where the New York Giants play? I think so.
I think
it
so,
might
yeah.
be. Yeah, I think it is.
Wow. That's
Adam, you're gonna
cool.
have to bulk up. You're gonna have to bulk up a little bit.
I know everything's gonna be okay.
Start eating some carbs.
I just hope it's not gonna rain because there's no roof on the stadium. So
Oh yeah.
but
Please
yeah,
wear
it's
a
gonna be
Kevlar
amazing
vest.
experience. Okay, perfect.
You could wear a little, you can get one of those rain jackets that fits in your pocket.
But you know what? It might be like we think it's gonna be a stage with like in passerelle. What's the English word for that?
Pastel.
Passerelle.
Like
Where
a-
you mean like
There's the main stage. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
there's
so
something
like
that,
a-
does a U shape.
Oh, a catwalk maybe?
yeah, catwalk.
And then there's place in the middle, and we think that's where we're gonna be.
Ooh,
So
that's
if
exciting.
that's the case, I won't get trampled because there won't be like 20,000 of us in there. So
Wow.
Please
I hope
don't
you
get trampled, little Adam.
I'll try.
How exciting. Well,
So
here
can't
we
wait.
are.
Best experience for in a big stadium concert.
well, you know what? I talk about it's not every big stadium that sounds bad. The Big O particularly sounds bad.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause
not
I heard
not made for
complaints about-
shows.
I heard complaints about was it the girly show that she did there?
Oh, yeah,
Madonna?
I saw that. It was not good.
Yep.
And I slept outside for tickets for that show.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Before you quickly
Anyways.
wrap it up, we got a message from some of our fans. They enjoy our segment listener mail.
Oh, very nice.
So that's something cool. So again, a quick shout out to your buddy Carolyn, who absolutely loves the show.
She's
And
good people.
Rachel, honest to God, Rachel studies our show. She legit studies our show and comments on every major topic that we do. So we appreciate that. And I also wanted to just let people know, if you happen to be a fan of dance, you can check out the latest interview on the Kelly Alexander Show, because we just interviewed Lori Sposett, who danced on the All For You tour with Janet back in
Cool.
2001.
Nice.
Very good.
And she actually answers, Sharon, you should watch it, the main difference of dancing for Madonna versus Janet.
Oh.
Really?
I'd be curious to hear that.
Yeah, it was, and she's amazing. Like, Lori is one of the sweetest people you'd ever get to meet. And it was just interesting to hear, because she's worked with both.
And she
Mhm.
had an honest answer about how different, like in the choreography, or just
Yeah, well,
working with
just
Madonna, or-
their tone, like their tone in rehearsal.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna guess that Janet is nicer.
I'm gonna guess that too. Not saying Madonna was a total.
no, and she didn't say
any.
there was nothing bad to say about Madonna, just two different tones. And as we know, like, Madonna is very much a go-getter, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
and Janet is too, but in different
Yeah.
ways of getting there.
Nice.
No, okay. Well, we'll go and listen to the episode then.
Yeah.
You can watch it too on our YouTube channel.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it. Bye.
Okay.
Just kidding. I require a dismount. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Kel. Thanks, Adam. Stay
Yeah.
safe, everybody. Kel, with your situation, here's to calm
Here's
the
to mass
breezes.
cleanup.
Here's to mass cleanup and a nice breeze, not a dangerous one. Adam, ahead of seeing Lady Gaga, I'll see you at work. And
Good. Probably.
everybody else, thank you for listening to 90s Now. Finding us wherever you are, or wherever we are, findable, which is pretty much everywhere. Thank you for doing that and passing on the good word. We appreciate it. So thank you for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.